everybody, welcome back. So we're on lesson number 12. Woo! You made it through the second 6th lesson series. You guys are doing awesome. So this one has a little bit of a shorter vocabulary word, but it's a really good list. So we're going to start with the first word on here, which is the word show. Show, your passive hand is going to be a palm, and your signing hand is going to be an index finger touching your palm, and you're going to go like this. So think of like a child coming up and showing you a piece of paper with some artwork on it, and they point to it and show it to you. So, and now this is a directional sign, so I can say show you, show me, show everybody, plural. Okay, next is the sign for soon. Most people signed, I've seen soon like this. I don't see it very often. For the most part, it's signed with an F hand shape, and you do it right on your chin like this. Soon. Good. Soon. Now, there's another sign that's really close to the sign for soon, but it starts at your nose, and it's the sign for really close by, or like it's used to show distance. So it goes like this. So if I wanted to say, the bathroom is right around the corner. So close by, and then soon is a repeated motion from your chin. All right, next one. This is a sign for decide, or to make up your mind. So you point your head like the sign for think, and then you come down in F hand shapes, both sides. Decide, or to make up your mind. Next is the word different. This one's going to be 2 index fingers, both with palm facing out, and you're going to cross over right at the tips of your fingers and then bring them apart like this. Different. If I could use that for like an assortment of, or a variety of, or lots of different options or choices versus different. Okay, next we have the word leave. Leave has a couple of different English concepts. One of the concepts would be leave as in like abandon, or leave behind, sort of. So leave, but then if I wanted to say, it's time to leave, or we'll leave in 5 minutes, then it would be leave. So open hand shape, leave. Leave versus leave as in abandon. All right, next we have the sign for break or broken. This looks like you're just snapping something in half. Think of like a twig from a tree and just snap it in half. Break or broken. Next is the word complain. You're going to make a C hand shape, and you're going to come on your chest and make a repeated motion. You can also use this for like gripe or grumble or murmur. So complain. Next is such a cute sign. It's actually the word curious, and we're going to take our index and thumb, and we're going to pinch a little bit of skin on our neck like this. Isn't that a funny sign? So I am curious what this flap of skin on my neck is for. Maybe a good way to remember that sign. So curious. Next is the word fix. Fix can be done 2 ways. One of them is by finger spelling it, a shortened finger spelling version of it. So FX, fix. And then the other way is like this, fix or fix. Next we have interesting. This is an interesting sign. So we're going to use 5 hand shapes, and we're going to pull forward like this. So start with 5s, and then we're going to end in 8 hand shapes. interesting. One of them's in front of the face and one of them is from the chest. If I wanted to do that sign one-handed, I could do that, but I would do it from the face. Interesting. Because if I signed it from here, it would be like. So either two hands, or if it's one hand, do it from the face. Another interesting thing about the sign for interesting is some people do it, actually sign it like this. Usually males tend to sign it like that, and females tend to sign it like that. Now that is very, very, it sounds ridiculous, I know. I think because this is kind of a feminine looking sign, so just kind of make a note of that. Interesting fact. Females tend to sign it like this, and men tend to sign it like that, but it doesn't matter either way which way you do it. It doesn't say anything. It's just kind of something to notice. Okay, next is the word strange. This one is going to be a C hand shape, and you're going to actually twist it in front of your face. So you're going to start with the C facing up, and you're going to go across the face until the C is facing down. Strange. It can also be like odd or weird or unusual. All of that, those type of words. Strange. Next is the word try. The old way to sign try was with T hand shapes, and you go forward. Try. But now people have dropped the T, the initialized sign, and they do it with fists. So if I wanted to say like, okay, try again. So try. Next is this next word is a similar movement and location as try, but it's the word let, or you can also use it for allow. And you make flat hands, have your palms facing each other, and go forward. So let or allowed. So not allowed would be what? Good. Okay, so try was with the fist, right? But let or allow was with the flat hands. Okay, next are the words first and last. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do first like this and last like that. Think of this being a finger list, and the one at the top is first, and then the pinky is last. So it's pinky to pinky, last. So first, or you can pull your fingers in, first and then last. Now, if I was saying, first, we need to make our bed, and then we can vacuum. You could do first like that, but usually this is used for like placement. So I'll go first, and then you can go second. So see how I twisted the number? So first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I can even do 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. It works up until 9. But if I'm listing things, if it's a list of things, I would do first and last like that. If I was saying like first place, or we'll do this first, then I would sign first like that. I hope that makes sense. Okay, the next concept is the concept of tends to, or typically, or usually, and we're going to use our middle fingers, one in front of the other. Tends to, typically, usually. I can do it with one hand too. Typically, just make sure that you don't reverse the orientation or it becomes like sensitive or feel. Just keep it straight. Keep your palm facing your chest the whole time. Typically or usually. And then sometimes think of like a tornado touching down, right? So sometimes a tornado touches down, but you can actually make a bigger circle to show like less and less frequent. So once in a great while, sometimes people will even exaggerate the sign and do like a motion like that. But sometimes, or once in a while, or once and a blue moon. Okay, so let's see. So we have tends to and sometimes. And we've also in the past done never and always, which go along well with those as well. Okay, last vocabulary word on lesson number 12 is the word dream. There's actually two different concepts that go with dream. If you're talking about dream as in sleep dream, then you point your head and wiggle your index finger as you come away from your head. Dream. So like, last night I had a bad dream. But if I was using dream as in, my dream is to start a company. So that would be dream as in vision or visualization, or so like Martin Luther King when he says, I have a dream. He's not talking about a sleep dream, although it could have started as a sleep dream, but this would be specifically related to sleep, and this would be related to a vision or a concept or an idea, that type of dream. And I love this sign. It's such a pretty sign. So you start with fists and you open them up. It kind of looks like, you know, on comic strips when you have like one of the characters is having a thought, but they're not actually saying it. So it comes from their head like that. So dream. Okay, a couple other things I mentioned in lesson number 12 in the grammar section. Let's see. Name signs. Name signs are actually a really important part of deaf culture, and name signs are usually given to someone by a member of the deaf community. You do sometimes see people that make up their own, but culturally, the right way to get a name sign would be to become friends with a deaf person, or not for that reason, but to get involved in the community and just organically through interaction and getting to know people, request a name sign. And then they'll usually come up with one that's something personal to you. So for example, my children, their name signs, my oldest one, her name is Ashley, but her initials are A-L-A. So her name sign is her initials because they flow together so nicely. Ashley. My second daughter used to suck her two middle fingers instead of her thumb when she was a baby. It was so cute. So we'd make the I love you handshake because that's the fingers that she would suck, and we signed it on the chin like this. So her name is Carrie, and we sign it like this. My other daughter's name is Ellie. And when she was a baby, oh my goodness, nobody could take her but me. If she was in my arms, she was happy, smiling. But if somebody else tried to take her, oh my gosh, she would freak out. And so we gave her the name sign Monster. Her name starts with an E, but the sign for monster is like this. So we would sign Ellie like that. So name signs can be your initials. They can be something personal about you. They can be related to a special interest or hobby that you have. And some people choose to just have their name spelled out. So my name, Tara, is only 4 letters, so I just spell it out. The spelled version is my name sign. A lot of people will drop the T though and just sign A-R-A for Tara, for my name. My youngest son's name is Rex. There's only 3 letters in his name, so we just do RX, Rex. My other son was obsessed with keys when he was little. Like people would come over to visit and he would like sneak their keys out of their purse and take them up in his room. So we signed, his name is Bronson, but we make the key sign up on the brain because it was always keys on the mind for him. So Bronson. That just kind of gives you an idea of like what types of name signs, you know, people come up with, and but they're very kind of like Native American names. There's something personal and unique about you. Okay, I also wanted to mention the using the words sometimes and often in ASL. So remember the sign for again that we did in an earlier lesson, again? So if I repeated that sign with speed, it would become the sign for often. So I can say like really often or often, but if I do it slowly, it does not become sometimes. It can only go more and more often. Same thing with sometimes. I can make a bigger circle to show less and less frequent, but if I were to sign sometimes really fast, it wouldn't make it the sign for often. So they only go in the opposite direction. When in English, we often use the sign very. In ASL, very can be done by emphasizing your emotion or your expression, or it can be used by signing the sign for really or truly. Or it can also be the concept of very. So if I want to say I'm very mad at you, or I could just say, and just emphasize my emotion and expression. Okay, also using the word but, B-U-T, in sign language. So like, I want to go to bed early, but I'm not tired. So, go to bed early. So notice what I'm doing right here. I'm using this. The word but it shows a condition. So it's really the sign for but is really more of an organizational tool than an actual sign. If you looked up the sign for but, B-U-T, it might show, the dictionary might show you this, which is actually the same as the sign for different. But it's an old sign, and I don't see it very much anymore. Now people usually use the word but as a way of organizing information in a sentence, and this establishes a condition. So blah 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 but, and then the condition. So but. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of sentences for you guys real quick. Let's see. We need to leave soon. So topic was leaving soon. What about it? That the two of us, we need to. Okay. Babies tend to be very curious. All right, one more. What is your first and last name? All right, there we go. Good job. So we've made it to the end of lesson number 12, which is the second set of the video series. The next lesson, starting with number 13, oh my gosh, they are fantastic. That's where we dive into classifiers and the use of classifiers in American Sign Language. Classifiers are actually hand shapes. So for example, the one classifier would be a person, and you could show a person walking along. You could show a person hunched over. So it's hand shapes that represent nouns and verbs, and you can manipulate them and move them to give additional information. They are one of my favorite things about the language. So we'll be diving into those in lesson number 13. Good job for making it this far. Thank you.